Christine here with today's episode of the Health and Happiness Hacks Wellness Show. We are here at Chateau, Sorrento Valley, and I'm here with Dr. Ben Ramos. Very excited to have him on the show today. So we're going to talk about sports medicine and some other fun stuff that he's up to here in San Diego. So I won't waste any more time, Ben. Let's go ahead and tell the audience what you're up to these days.
Like Christine said, my name is Dr. Ben Ramos. I run a private practice called FlowForce Rehab in a private strength and conditioning facility here in Sorrento Valley, San Diego. Essentially what I do is I help athletes and active people overcome physical barriers and continue to work hard towards their goals so they don't have to stop what they're doing and from chronic pain or injuries or anything like that.
Love it. And then how long have you been doing this for?
I've been in practice for a little over a year.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then what'd you do before?
Before that, I was a full-time student, obviously, but I was in the Navy for 9 years. I was an aircraft mechanic, which, part of that led me into getting into healthcare.
Wait, so tell me a little, let's back up. How did that parlay into healthcare?
Well, when I was in the Navy, I really didn't have any interest in getting into healthcare. I was a full-time Jiu Jitsu athlete, right? So I competed in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu full-time, and that's what I did. And that's what I associated myself with. When I was getting ready to get out of the Navy, I was actually I wasn't great, but I was gonna pursue Jiu-Jitsu full-time and compete and train full-time and at least give it a go for a little bit. I ended up having an injury in my hip, and that sidelined me. And the experiences that I had from having kind of the one-size-fits-all approach to the issue I was dealing with led me down a cascade of seeing all these different professionals and stuff like that that didn't really help too much, specifically for my issue. And so from that point on, I made it a point that I was going to be the change, be the positive change in that field, so people have the proper care that they need. So,
that's awesome.
From then on, I just went head first and just charged into it. So
that's great. Yeah. And then you said your practice is here in Sorrento Valley, so you're right down the street.
Yeah, I am right down the street on the other side of 5.
Love it. I didn't know that. Oh, that's a great story. And then do you still practice any type of martial arts? Are you still in?
Yes, I still practice Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's definitely my passion. I mean, that's what drives me.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
And so that's how you let off steam if you're working too much?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's my meditation.
That's cool. So what's a typical client that comes into your practice?
I get quite a variety, but the typical client that comes to my practice is somebody that's an active person, a weekend warrior, a lot of professionals that ask a lot of their bodies so they can continue to compete hard on the weekends. People like yourself that ask a lot of themselves, running marathons and whatnot, but doesn't just want to get from in pain to out of pain, but wants to be able to overcome a specific goal or obstacle that they're facing. And what I do is I help people not only just get out of pain, but be able to continue to improve their athleticism and their abilities while in the recovery process. In many cases, people think that they have to put everything on hold while they go through rehab or while they go through this. But by combining my experience in strength and conditioning and rehabilitation and chiropractic, I'm able to get them so they can constantly improve during the recovery process. Nice,
I love hearing that. And so you're taking care of a lot of people, obviously. Yeah. What do you do for your hack as far as for yourself, for self-care?
Absolutely. I make sure that I get movement in every single day, and that I try to get a variety of types of movements and just try to get stronger. Through resistance training, but also, obviously trying to be mindful. We were talking about this earlier about being an entrepreneur and working hard all the time and making sure that I'm taking care of myself and whether it has to be meditating or doing jiu-jitsu. And I think most important of all, spending time with the people you love. And stuff like that. So that's my biggest kind of self-care thing that I try to take.
Oh, good. And then you mentioned meditation, which gets mentioned on every single show, and we need a little bell or something every time people mention it. So how much meditation do you do every day?
I schedule 10 minutes into my plan every single day.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And you've been doing that for how long?
Really, I've only been doing it for about 2 years.
Okay. No, that's good.
When I was getting into school, in school I was just go hard, and just try to study. It wasn't until towards the end of school when I finished, I started realizing how much of a drag not taking care of myself and thinking about myself and my mind and where my mindset was at could affect me. So
yeah. Absolutely. Oh, nice. And then as far as mobility, how much of that do you do every day?
I try to do as much as I can. So it's amazing how much extra time we have to move that we don't realize it, and how short it can actually be. So, I mean, I'm a pretty fidgety person, but in the morning for sure I have a routine that I go through. It only takes me about 5 minutes, 10 minutes if I'm feeling good that day, and I have the time to go a little bit longer. But I mean, every 30 minutes, every hour, I'm doing something to move my body, and just, I call it nutritious movement. You know, giving your body the movement that it needs in order to like provide the nutrients to the joints and the muscles and the tissues.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So if you're taking like a phone call, or you're just trying to move and like stretch, or when would you do these kinds of movements?
Yeah, absolutely. When you're sitting at your desk, when you're on a phone call, at any time that you can find to move, you can.
Cool.
So specifically, I mean, I'm luckily in a position where I work with patients, so I'm all over inside the gym, and I'm on the mat, and I'm moving around. So
all day long. You're not at a desk.
All day long. I'm demonstrating stuff like that. But I mean, when it comes time, when I'm working on the systems on the back end, I spend a lot of time behind the desk, and I have to make sure that I'm prioritizing movement and incorporating that into, you know, my routine of the day.
No, for sure. That definitely makes sense. And then what would be a favorite book, do you think?
My favorite book is The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday.
Oh, dang. Yeah. I have it on my shelf. I haven't read it yet.
It's amazing.
Okay.
It's probably one of my favorites. It's a real quick book. I'm a new reader. Like when it comes to just like reading as a hobby, textbooks and research, I can do all day, and that's what I've been doing for a very long time. But I like the short victory books, and you know, that's a good short one that's just packed full of great information.
Cool. Yeah. And what degree did you end up getting?
So I first got my degree in human biology, bachelor's human biology, and then I got my master's in exercise and sports science, and then my doctorate in chiropractic. I did the master's and the doctorate at the same time.
Whoa, nice. Cool.
Yeah. I'd like to say that I had 3 concurrent educations, because I did the master's and then I did my doctorate, but then I realized that there was so much missing from the formal education part. And so while I was in school, I went traveling all over the country trying to learn from every expert that I could. I probably did about 400 hours of continuing education while in school. So on my weekends, if I wasn't studying for school, I was flying somewhere and learning from some expert from somewhere.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
And they were open to that? You just reach out and say, hey, I want to learn?
Oh, absolutely. I would go to seminars, and then it actually turned into a point where I was bringing in experts and hosting seminars in Portland, where my school was, and working with a bunch of different multidisciplinary professionals, whether they're strength coaches, PTs, massage, and personal trainers, and all these different professionals, and bringing them together so we can all learn what's newest and what's best, and so we can do the best we can for our clients.
I love hearing that. That's super cool. So it's just that continuing education piece that you'd probably say was a good way to go.
All of it. No, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think that the real core of it is being a constant learner and never staying stagnant. And I think that's what separates a really good practitioner versus, like, you know, the ones that kind of have that one-size-fits-all approach. A really good practitioner is they're constantly reading new research. They're constantly trying to prove themselves wrong, and they're constantly trying to do what they can to improve themselves so they can better serve the people that they serve. Because I think, you know, it's important to remember at all times that my job is to help human beings. These people have emotions, they have goals, they have all these things going on, and I take it very seriously. I take it very seriously that I'm able to help them the best they can, and really just, you know, give them what they deserve, you know.
Love that. Yeah. And then do you provide any workshops? Like, I know you work a lot one-on-one with clients, but are there any upcoming workshops, events that you guys are going to host soon?
I'm in the process of organizing a lot of workshops and just trying to provide as much as I can to the community. So really soon I'm going to be having a lot of back pain and mobility and, like, say, shoulder rehab workshops, so athletes can come and they can learn, you know, as much as they can about this stuff and this approach. I really like to simplify things for people. It's in the industry of health, fitness, strength and conditioning. It's really going down a road of complicating things, and in some cases, it doesn't empower people. And what I really want to do is empower people to be able to take control of their situation and put themselves in where they can be powerful moving forward. Yeah.
That's cool. So for the audience, what would be, you know, since the name of our show is the Health and Happiness Hack Show, we always want to know our guest's #1 hack when it comes to either happiness or health or fitness. Right.
So and I like to stick to the basics. And so if we're talking about general health and happiness hack, I would for sure say getting outside and doing something that you enjoy. Something active, something to do. For me, sometimes the best part of my week is going on just like a long 2-hour walk with my dog down up, and I live in Solana Beach, so going up and down the beach and just
nice.
Leave the phone at home, you know, go with my fiance and just go for a nice long walk, and you know, something like that. Or I mean, getting on the mat, doing jiu-jitsu with all my friends, and sharing that that challenge with each other is my thing. But for sure, doing something you enjoy. Like a lot of times, exercise turns into a chore. You know, and as great as exercise is, as great as all these things are, trying to do something that kind of enlightens you, that helps you learn, and learning.
Yeah. No, right? You keep a busy schedule, it sounds like. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Rottweiler.
Oh, what's its name?
His name's Kuma.
Kuma. Oh, they're great dogs. I had one years ago.
Yeah, he thinks
he's a puppy.
Yeah, he has no idea.
That he's huge.
Yeah.
And then what would be the best way for people to get a hold of you if they wanted to reach out and do a session?
So my website, FlowForceRehab.com, or my Facebook page. I try to do as many live videos as I can during the week. That way I keep putting out content so people can see what they can do for themselves. But yeah, so FlowForceRehab.com. Or I have an Instagram and a Facebook page. Or anybody can reach out to me at any time if they have questions at drben@flowforcerehab.com. I try to make myself as available as possible. That way, if somebody has a question, I can help kind of lead them in the right direction. I know like healthcare and figuring out what's the best route to go for somebody, you know, is difficult. And so like providing, you know, just easy answer for somebody.
I love that. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ben, for coming on the show today, sharing your tips. Again, we'll have all his contact information in our show notes, so you can reach out to him. Like he said, he's always available. Questions, he has the answers. So thanks again for coming on. And thank you to you guys. Make sure you subscribe, you leave comments. And until next Wednesday, see you then. Bye. Yeah, you nailed it. You're